I'm Maud Lanau. I'm an assistant professor in Chalmers in Gothenburg in Sweden. And I've been working with sustainability in the built environment for 8 to 10 years, I would say, now. I think it can help because you can use what is called the systems perspective. So you make sure that you include each and all aspects that should be included when looking at the built environment. And you can also focus on material flows and material stocks and really starting quantifying inflows of material, outflows of materials and emissions, and try to really get this understanding of how do we as organism organize ourselves and how can we do better. If you look at material stocks, this is our built environment mostly. So it's our buildings and our infrastructures, and this is the material that is accumulated in it. And we need these stocks to make sure that we get our services. So any human activities, or most human activities, rely on both these stocks, so shelter, transportation, and the flows that come with it. I was taking the example of having a shower. You need water, that's a flow, but you also need an actual shower and a building and pipes, etc. So the idea with stocks is that we want to make sure our stocks stay in place as long as possible, and so that they also minimize how much material flows we are using. So having a stock perspective instead of a flow-driven perspective can help us basically reach the first stages of circular economy, which is try to keep things in use as long as possible. As I said before, we need to look at things as systems so that we make sure we understand each and every part of it, so that we can find where we should improve the way we have organized ourselves and our how we rely on resources. So by having all of these disciplines together, we can actually exchange ideas and exchange a lot of knowledge in how to look at this system. Because for example, I'm specialized in the systems perspective, but I don't necessarily know so much about material engineering, or I'm starting to know a bit, but I'm not an expert in urban planning either. So we need all of these disciplines to come together to share knowledge so that we really can map things out as best as possible to then improve our systems. Yes. So it's both practitioners, because they have a lot of knowledge, and we can also give knowledge to practitioners with our findings. Policy making as well. So basically the results of all of our research can be communicated to policymakers to tell them where we need to have stronger policies, for example, in resource efficiency. And so we make sure we are moving towards the right direction. First answer would be that there is more and more interdisciplinary collaborations, and we see this in this conference. That includes how people are discussing, and they come from different fields and ideate on what could be done, what is maybe missing in terms of a view here, and how could they collaborate and make sure they integrate their knowledge and their research. So I think this is a first very concrete and very important step. And when it comes to more applicability towards sustainability, I would say that I've heard a lot of people already collaborating with practitioners to get data and to share data. And that also means that as researchers in academia, we can, of course, share our knowledge and inform practitioners so that they understand better where the urgent issues are and what they can do about it. Sounds a bit of a soft step, but it's a quite concrete and important step. What I hope that we take away is this idea of systems and of looking a bit around us in terms of how much resources we use. Because when I learned about it, it really kind of changed a little bit how I just walk in the street. I can see buildings and thinking these are material stocks. And so you can identify a lot of things like this and make sense a bit of our environment and built environment. So I think that would be something. And another thing would be this concept of holonic systems. So trying to both continue in our own fields and really try to dig into how to improve things, but also try to understand how can this knowledge we create can contribute to maybe a higher level in the hierarchy and maybe also a lower one. Mm-hmm. So I hope they start thinking a bit in terms of collaborations.